Hey there, good morning, Bella Vista. We're going to talk about it again. Today's topic, I'm so excited because my guests are doing something just trying to get us all revved up again for a festival. Rick Barnhart, you're the president of the organization,
Right.
and David, you do everything else, David Edwards?
I do.
He does the majority of the work.
I was going to
Trust
say,
me.
I only know about him. What I'd like you to do is tell me a little bit about yourselves, each of you, and then how did this get started? Where did the brain job come
Oh
from?
boy.
All right, you first, Dave.
Oh, well, my background is varied. I grew up, born and raised in Iowa. Started out in finance for many years, and switched over to law enforcement for about 12 years. Then became a contractor, and then at age 60, I went back and finished up my degree in industrial technology and retired a few years later.
Gotcha.
And then I became really interested in barbecue. And at the time we lived up in Oregon, and I was instrumental in putting on some professional barbecue competitions. And then we moved down here 5 years ago. And then we saw a need for this. So I'll let Rick introduce himself, and then we'll get into that.
Okay.
I just moved back from living in the Caribbean for 5 years and decided that
Bless your heart.
Bella Vista was the place to be. It's nice and quiet, slow, and I got hooked up with Dave to try to pull this thing together. It's got a great history. We're going to continue that, but we're going to add a few twists to it this year. So we're live music, barbecue, and some of those things, which Dave was going to go into and elaborate. And I just love living here. So it's been great so far. This is just to keep me busy. Stay out of my wife's hair, which is critical.
Yeah, it's probably her idea, right?
Yeah, it was her idea. Exactly.
How did you manage? Because, you know, people really have been missing the arts and crafts fair. How did you manage? Did you just camp on somebody's doorstep and say, how did you get it back?
Well, of course, we looked at the wonderful Bella Vista Arts and Crafts Festival that they put on for actually 53 years in Bella Vista, and since 1992 in the same location on Forest Hills Boulevard. And then we had COVID, and then they decided not to resume that particular festival anymore. And a lot of people I was hearing were really missing it. And I was kind of feeling an itch to do something again, and started thinking about, gosh, why can't we do another big arts and crafts festival, and then add to it to kind of broaden the appeal to a lot of different people. So I started putting some things into motion. I met Rick, and we got together and formulated a plan. We started out, we approached the Discover Bella Vista people. They were super helpful. And we went through that process, and they kind of provided some startup funding for us, a grant. And we took that and developed our graphics and our paperwork. We went out to Steve Morris, and he created a great website for us. We ran into some initial delays that we didn't really anticipate, put us off a few months. So we were a little bit late in getting out with our sponsorship requests, especially some of the larger companies in the area. We kind of got behind on them. But we went out to a lot of people and knocking on doors and emailing and so on and so forth. The city has been really helpful. The Planning Commission, Taylor Robertson and Frederick Huddleston, just helping us expedite the permit process and really making it a pleasure to work with the city. I've got to give a shout out to Tom Judson at the POA. Actually, he's where I started when I came up with the idea. I went to Tom. I said, do you think we can do this again? And he was just 100% behind it, and his advice and guidance. And a couple of folks from the Bella Vista Arts and Crafts Festival gave us some really good advice, got us started. Kudos to them. And then we just started putting things in motion. The computer work has been a little bit more than I anticipated. I guess everything has, but it's been a joy. It's really kept me busy in retirement. I can say that.
So let's start by telling everybody, when is this?
It will take place September 22nd through the 24th, Friday, Saturday, and then a partial Sunday. We'll have the large arts and crafts fair. Right now, as the mayor said in the previous program, there's a great guy
Did you pay
too.
him?
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
we don't want to
Free,
get invited.
free barbecue.
Oh, okay.
We've got actually 131 registrations signed up for the Arts and Crafts Festival. That's going to run from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening on Friday and Saturday, and from 9 to 1 on Sunday. But the other things that we have going, such as the backyard amateur barbecue contest and the chili cook-off, we have live music. We'll have an entertainment tent. Bentonville Brewery is going to be providing the adult beverages there, and we have a band on Friday night and Saturday night from 7 to 10. We're also having a professional barbecue class, cooking class, on Saturday morning with a 3-time world champion barbecue competitor, Tim Gray. He's gracious enough to volunteer his services.
That'll be a hoot, by the way.
Oh, I can only
Everybody should
imagine.
go to this.
Yeah.
It will. And we just looking for people to have a really good time. And
How many food trucks are we up to?
we have 10 food trucks,
Wow.
all serving a different variety of food. We even have a gentleman coming from Las Vegas serving all Greek food. So it should be a lot of fun.
So a lot of the
fun.
local food trucks around here, like, who are some of them? Do you remember?
Oh, some of the names. Well, Jerry Karsten with Carson's Concessions is providing 3.
Okay.
One, I know 2 of them. One is a kind of a conventional state fair kind of event. Funnel cakes, things that you see at a carnival.
dogs,
Corn
things like
dogs,
that.
certainly.
Yeah.
He just acquired a root beer trailer. He's bringing that. And I'm not quite sure what the other one is. We have a barbecue trailer. We have Java Dudes.
Oh, Java Dude. I love those boys. I
They're
wish
bringing
they'd
their
come
big
back.
coffee thing. We have Lemonade
We
trailer.
got a breakfast trailer.
There'll be a gentleman starting at 7 o'clock serving breakfast. And a lot of people, unfortunately, I can't think of it. Stan Green is his name.
Right.
I can't think of the name of his truck, but everybody knows his breakfast. So we're looking forward to that. And there may be some other barbecue items that pop up from time to time, and some things that we're going to be doing.
I'm so sorry. So they're cooking on what day, or when is how do you know who wins?
Oh, for the barbecue contest, that'll be on Saturday afternoon, and they'll be turning all their entries into the judges about 4:30 in the afternoon, and then around 5:30 to 6 o'clock on the stage, we'll be announcing the winners. And it's a fun way that we're doing it, in that the more entries that we have with the entry fees builds up the prize money. We're giving back 50% of the entry fees in prize money. Plus, there'll be 4 places, and each of those 4 places will also receive a custom barbecue cutting board worth about $125.
Oh.
And we're providing the meat. It'll be baby back ribs.
Oh my goodness. And so what about the chili? Is that?
That's kind of our first foray into that world for me. So I've
Okay.
been looking for a lot of help and assistance on that, and we're just going to have to see how that one works out.
So if somebody wants to be a vendor or buy tickets, I know that's a lot to say.
Free admission.
It's free admission.
Free admission.
Okay. Wow. And so if they want to know more about it, or how to sign up, or how to donate, or how to do whatever, how do they do that?
We have a website. It's the NWA Festival.com.
Okay.
And they can go to that, sign up as a vendor. As soon as I see that, it will automatically pop up on my screen, and I will send them out an invoice, and they can pay through the Square payment system right from that invoice. Thing I'd like to mention too is the big thrust of the festival is that we're raising money for the Northwest Arkansas Food Bank.
So we're
And-
501c3. So
Yes, we're a
anybody
501c3
wants to make
nonprofit.
donations, it's great place
That's
to do it.
fabulous.
Great thing to do. So.
What a good thing you guys are doing. What are you doing?
I'm following him around trying to pick up the pieces.
I don't mean that in a bad
Yeah.
way. But
No, I'm helping him pull together different parts of the event. I mean, we're both kind of splitting the duties up, and we're just kind of getting everything aligned so that it all pulls together at the right time.
you're going to be so tired after this is over, but so happy that you've brought it back.
That's what we hope.
Yeah.
Actually,
you will.
that's
You
what
Probably the
absolutely
week
will.
after the festival ends, we will start putting together our sponsorship packages again and get out there when we need to, so that they can get.
So you
get
want
our
this to be
requests in
an
their
annual?
budgets.
You
Yeah.
want this to be an annual
this
event?
is the first annual event, you bet.
Okay.
And next year will be bigger with some really interesting things going on. And one I can mention, we were going to do a professional barbecue contest as well with the Kansas City Barbecue Society and the Texas Steak Association.
Mm-hmm.
Were going to come up, but with the delays that we had in fundraising, and you have to contractually obligate for prize money and things like that 90 days out, it just didn't work out to be able to do that this year. But both associations have allowed us to carry over our sanctioning places
Mm-hmm.
until next year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we hopefully will be bringing both of those events into the festival.
So they'll be
next
bringing
year.
judges in, and that'll
Oh.
qualify them for the Kansas City Royal. So
The big boys that you
That's a
saw
big
on
deal.
the
Yes.
Barbecue Pitmasters TV shows for years, those will be the fellows that will be here in Bella Vista next year, hopefully.
Oh, that's amazing. So what kind of arts and crafts can people expect?
Well, if they remember, and they came out to the Bella Vista Arts and Crafts Festival was there, a lot of that same type of arts and crafts. My gosh, I've seen just about everything from
leather workers, woodworkers, painters.
yes, jewelry
Ceramicists.
makers, artists, a couple of well-known artists from outside. We've got them from several states around.
I was just going to say that event used to be from all over the United States. People
Oh, yeah.
would come.
They used to have 300 vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
We
we're
didn't
working
get
back to
quite
that. That's our goal.
this year. Yeah.
I
Cool.
got you. I got you.
It's a wide, varied classification of different arts and crafts fairs. I think people are going to really be pleased and really see some nice things.
So are you working with the weatherman to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to?
Yeah, yeah, we are.
Oh, that's great. So do you have like an MC tent? Do you have, announcements and things like that going on? Or?
We have what we're calling our entertainment tent. We have the stage. That's where the bands will play, and the Bentonville Brewery will be set up, and our barbecue class and our judges will be located inside the tent.
Lots of tables for
We-
people to sit.
Right, and we'll have kind of a beer garden, if you will, outside the tent as well.
Uh-huh.
And of course, larger festival tents for the arts and crafts vendors, and there'll be outside tents of their own as well.
So are either one of you cooking or entering in the contest?
Well, as per the rules of the nonprofit guidelines, we're really not allowed to enter the contest as board members.
Right.
We may be cooking though.
We
You
may
never
be
know.
cooking, but we won't be competing.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. What are you most looking forward to other than it being over?
Good weather.
Yeah.
Good weather, because that's time of the year can be iffy. I know last year at this time it was pretty hot, but we're hoping that we get good, clear weather and that we get a lot of attendance. We're always looking for volunteers. You go to the website. We can use all the volunteers that we can scramble
Well,
up.
that's a great thing. What kind of volunteers do you need?
We need people to be ambassadors for the tents, to kind of show people point people in directions. We need potential drivers back and forth in the parking lot, which is not a giant walk, but it's a long enough walk. We think we've got a golf cart situation set up, and we've also got the hay wagon that was used before that to carry half a dozen people at a time back and forth in the parking lots. We need site managers or assistant managers to help make sure all the sites are set up. Somebody to coordinate with the police. I mean, we can use volunteers as many as we can find.
Just imagine it, and
Anything
you can do it.
we'll come up with something for you to do if you've got the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're equal opportunity employers, so we don't care who you are, what you are. If you're willing to work with us, come on.
It sounds fun. It really does.
All those trail volunteers that Mayor Flynn mentioned, if you're watching this, we would love to hear from you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, this sounds like so much fun. I can't wait. What else do we need to tell folks? Let's get that website up there one more time, if we could. And you can go there for information, volunteering. Go ahead.
Yeah, volunteering. You can go there to sign up if you want to participate as a vendor or cook or participate in the barbecue competitions or any of that. Go to the website and we'll hook you up.
So no tickets. This is kind of interesting.
It's no admission. And because we are trying to raise as much money as possible for the food bank and for some local youth groups as well, we probably are going to be looking at something for parking. Every other event that we found online everywhere, my gosh, they charge a lot of money for parking, but they all charge for parking. So that would give us an opportunity to raise a little more money for the food bank and things like that. We are, again, mandated by the nonprofit rules to give at least 50% of net profits back out to the community or to charitable organizations.
Excellent.
And that's a good one.
Yes, yes.
I also would say on the website is our email, and they should use that to contact me with any questions that they have whatsoever, and I will get back to them just as quick as I possibly can.
So you said you had 131 spaces rented so far, and you're trying to get 300, maybe not this year.
As many as would like to sign up,
Yeah.
especially our tents are pretty much filled right now, but we have an 80-acre field.
Yes, you
And
do.
if you have a 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 tent, what you've always done with arts and crafts, feel free to sign up. We've got room for you.
Is there anything special for kiddos? Or, I mean, this is a family event, obviously. Is there anything at all for kiddos?
There could be.
Okay.
We have the availability of doing that. We have a gentleman that has advises. He has a warehouse full of that type of games and things like that up in Kansas City, and we are welcome to all of it.
And face painting or
Oh,
something.
we have I believe two face painters,
Oh, good.
and one she does studio work. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
So we'll have that for them, and I think we're going to end up with a lot of things for a lot of people.
Well, anything else you'd like to say before we round up today, other than come on out, volunteer, attend?
Thank you for having us.
I think that says
you are
it all.
so.
We're just
You are so.
pleased as punch.
You are so responsive. You're kind of like me. You answer on the second ring, maybe the first if you're kind of right
In
there.
the corporate world that I served and in law enforcement for so many years, I always felt that the most important thing was communication. And I railed at the lack of it and always tried to promote communication. So I'm a stickler for returning phone calls and emails and things like that.
Even the car warranty one. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
it
kidding.
I
does.
get a lot of them.
That and Medicare.
Yeah,
And I
Medicare,
was
yeah.
like, I don't want it.
My wife is retiring this year.
Mm.
Thank God. And it's unbelievable the amount of mail and things like that we get from Medicare.
All right, so one more time, let's put up the contact information, the telephone, the names, et cetera, if you don't mind. Miss Graphics, you are awesome back there. Is there a phone number, email kind of thing at all? If not, that's okay.
It's all on the website.
All on the website. You're right. Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you for having
And
me.
you know what?
I really appreciate it.
I don't know. I'm thinking seriously about volunteering.
Can you
We'll
drive
find
tractor?
a place for you.
I think
know
you can.
I
I think
can.
you can. There you go. You ferrying people back and forth in the parking lots would be great.
Oh my goodness.
You're a natural. You're a natural.
We really need a volunteer coordinator and a site manager. We want to make sure that everybody there, from the visitor to the vendor, is treated absolutely the best we possibly can and meet their needs.
You know, another source, and maybe you've already checked this out, and maybe I'm out of line here, folks, so don't hate me for this, but you really ought to work with the business association.
Odd that you mentioned that.
Uh-oh.
We joined yesterday, and
Oh!
we'll be
And tonight
at,
there's
we will be
an
at
event?
the event tonight.
Okay,
Mhm,
see?
mhm.
That's another good one to go with.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Okay. All right. Well, a little short show today, but we're promoting, and thank you so much for doing everything you do. And man, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Bella Vista, I think we've talked about it a lot today, haven't we?
I think we have.
Yeah. I'd like to give you a little precursor for next month. You know, we've got this wonderful event happening in September, but we are going to have the animal shelter on next month, and they have their big wiener dog race thing coming up in October. So,
That should be fun.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, anyway, thanks, Bella Vista. Until next month, keep talking about it, and we'll be back with you then.